Dr. Homebrew is brought to you by 5 Star Chemicals, providing safety and cleaning supplies for brewing, distilling, and winemaking at 5starchemicals.com.
Doctor, look.
Stand aside, nurse. I'm Dr. Homebrew.
Stand clear.
Everybody, it's Dr. Homebrew. About to get this train rolling, you know what I'm trying to say?
Hey, party people.
You're on.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Oh, yeah.
He's on.
Okay, good.
Doc, I'm a trained professional. I know to turn. I know how to turn you on, baby.
Either that or he's a trained monkey.
Oh,
I could be both.
I thought that. I wasn't going to say it.
Since when?
Since I'm not going to say it or not think it.
That's true. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is Dr. Homebrew. We have a pretty good show for you tonight. A couple of really cool beers, actually. We have a German Pils, and then we have something called the Big Bamboo.
Hey.
The Big Bamboo.
Big bamboo. Big bamboo.
German Pils is, German Pils. It's pretty basic. But the Big Bamboo is a whole new animal here for Dr. Homebrew. It's a rum barrel-aged imperial blonde ale with, grapefruit, lychee, asparagus, Parmesan cheese. I don't know. It has, everything in it.
Is that right?
No. Not really.
Huh.
I mean, passion fruit and all that kind of stuff.
Good on you.
Perfect for Cinco de Mayo.
That's right. You know what I don't understand about Cinco de Mayo? Everyone's excited about it, and it's the celebration of a war. I don't know. I feel like it's a little weird to everyone get hammered because a bunch of people died.
It has become a drinking holiday, therefore
It is a drinking holiday nobody knows about.
That's
what
true.
is St. Patrick's Day about? I mean, it's important to
driving the Protestants out of Ireland.
Snakes out of Ireland.
Yeah, well, snake was wasn't it the symbol of the Protestant? It was like an allegory to the Protestants, which is why it's on St. Patrick's Day. Protestants wear orange, but nobody fucking wears orange.
My first grade teacher did that.
Did she?
Yeah.
See, I would do that too.
We made the shamrocks that I got to wear with her name on it, and it was green except for her.
Yeah.
She's Protestant.
She's Protestant.
She had an orange one.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I knew about that a long time ago. I still thought it was stupid.
It's pretty. Yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever. It's
and then New Year's Eve. But that's kind of important because, there's going to be another year. So that's kind of... I get New Year's Eve. That's a drinking holiday, too. That's not technically...
No, yeah. You're right. You're right. I'm going to mute Doc for a second. You're right. It's a drinking holiday, but Cinco de Mayo is just... I don't know, man. It's different. It's. I wonder how the French Americans think of Cinco de Mayo. Because it's a celebration of the Mexican army defeating the French, one time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Doc?
It's a drinking holiday.
Yeah, it is true. Before we get too far afield here, I do want to remind you guys about the people who bring you this show, 5 Star Chemicals. You go to 5starchemicals.com and learn about how to take care of your Funky Brew system and your conicals and your heat exchangers and all the crap that you make beer with, man. 5 Star Chemicals has what you need to keep it clean and sanitary. Those things don't exist at the same time. You have to clean and then you have to sanitize. This is if they died now. 5 Star just exploded in the Great Colorado Earthquake of 2016. The one thing they would want you to know is that you can't do two things at once. You have to clean and then you have to sanitize. So you use PBW and then use Star San, or use PBW and use IO Star, or what are the other products they have?
I might stop brewing if they explode.
Yeah, because then what would we do?
They made my life so much easier.
They really do, man.
They really did.
And I use that, dude, I buy the 4-pound jars from More Beer of the PBW and use it for everything. I clean my stove, I clean my bathtub with it, I clean everything I can with PBW.
Clean?
That's another show. That's another show.
Okay.
Taryn, she cleans. She's one of those people that gets a bug up her butt and then suddenly likes to clean. She likes to clean giant swaths. But as far as maintenance cleaning, no, she's kind of a slob.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a Schumann.
She's not as bad as a Schumann.
Yeah, but he gets the same bug up as Asimov, just sweep through the house and
he does
clean everything.
He does, but he's also like a nightmare level when it comes to slobby.
Oh yeah, you did live with him, didn't you?
I did live with him, yeah. But I imagine he's better now that he has kids and like a wife to nag him. He seems a little more browbeaten than he used to be.
He talks. No, he doesn't talk anymore.
No. Well, I mean, if you just follow him on Facebook, he's not funny anymore. He's not like, he doesn't insult people or as much. You know what I mean? He's just like, oh, I had a great year celebrating my, the birth of my kids, and what a great time we survived, right, Nikki? And it's like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is not Schumann.
But his house is clean.
His house is clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who else brings us this show?
Who else Oh, dude, we have a lot of listeners, or not listeners. Sponsors, which you'll hear about just in a second. Before we take our first break, we are going to speak with Norm. I don't even want to try to spell his last name because I think I screwed it up on the sheet. So, Norm. He's going to be up with the German Pils.
Norm!
And then, and then Kris, man. So, dig this. I don't want to give it too much away. It doesn't matter. So Kris writes in. He's like, hey, dude, I got this beer. It's a wood age, whatever. So he's trying to make a beer to mimic cocktails. So it's rum aged, and it has all this sort of like fruit juice in it and shit like that. So
that could be a cool idea.
I think it's a cool idea.
Yep.
I really do. I think it's something unique that I've never had before here, and we've been doing this show a long time, Brian. Like 3 years?
Actually, it's May of 2013 was the first posting of Dr. Homebrew. I was
really?
Glancing through the archives the other day, and yeah, we're on 3 years now. So,
jeez. Well, this is the April 21st show.
Well,
so our next show,
as of the next show,
will be 3 years, and I didn't get you anything. What did you get me?
I offered to buy you a beer at the bar here,
and you didn't.
Well, it was free anyway, so I technically kind of bought it.
Oh,
except
nice.
you ordered it, and I didn't have anything to do with it.
All right. Well, I got you a new car, so now I feel like I outgifted you.
Okay.
He likes rabbits. Get him a rabbit.
Talking about me or him?
You.
Okay, that's true. Speaking of rabbits, well, I don't know. I don't even want to say it. Okay, we're going to take a break here, folks. Why? Because, well, you know what? Forget about it. We're not going to take a break. Let's call Norm.
Hi, Norm.
We're winding down our third year of recordings. We don't need a break. We just need to keep plugging through.
Norm.
You do. 3, 2, burn. All right, let's call him Norm. See if it'll work. It's funny doing the show, man, because we ask people to use Skype, sort of. Like if you have Skype, that's cool. You don't need to go out and get Skype.
Why?
Well, because I'll just call you on it and just call you on your cell phone. But it's funny when people go, I think I have it. I'm not entirely sure. So does this work? Norm, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Nice.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I hear you.
Excellent.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Perfect. Just hanging out,
see him,
drinking beer.
though. Like Skype, it's just Skype audio.
It's always just Skype
that would eat
audio.
up all your bandwidth, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, and also we don't have a webcam on me, so it's me looking at the person's face, and that's just weird. So we just do the audio here.
Turn him up.
He's not saying anything right now.
I know, but I can't hear him.
Were you guys talking to me?
Yeah.
We need more Norm.
We're just talking.
We need more Norm.
So, Norm, you sent in a German Pils, which I thank you for.
Excellent.
I appreciate that. I haven't tried it yet, but anybody who goes after the Pilsner styles, you got to love them.
Yeah.
How long have you been homebrewing?
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting kind of sick of the hoppy beers. Want to brew something different.
Tell me about it.
A Pils is a hoppy beer if you're in Germany.
Yeah.
It's bitter.
Yeah.
We know what you mean, though.
Yeah, okay, good.
It's bitter, though. It's not hoppy, right?
Well, it's...
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's under the category.
Not too much in your face and overboard.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean like
hoppy
JP?
European lagers.
So, Norm, how long have you been homebrewing, man?
I'd say probably a little over 5 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a long time.
Not time for
Yeah.
Have you ever done
Adding up, so.
Have you ever done a German Pils before?
No, this is the first one.
Okay, what made you decide to do that? Well, like you said, you're just done with the hoppy beers. Are you like one of those double IPA freaks?
Oh, no, just kind of, it seems like, all the rage nowadays and all you can get, so I kind of just like to brew other things. So pretty much now all I brew is anything of brewing classic styles, and then if I'm not doing that, I'm kind of doing some sour beers or something. So, yeah, just kind of mixing it up, and wanted to try doing some lagers this year, so
cool.
Got a little more of a challenge.
Yeah, man, I dig it. That's for sure. All right, Brian, you want to tee off on not tee off?
I'll steer us into this beer.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's talk about Norm's German Pils.
Okay, I part of being a judge is you observe the bottle to start with. I noticed. I don't know if look at the bottom of this bottle. There were a little bit of chunks of sediment in there, and in the bottom, kind of floating around in there. But the beer itself is nice and clear. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's just something you observe everything that you're presented with, and saw some little chunks floating in the bottom there. I didn't let it color my impressions of the beer as I was tasting it, but you just kind of note in the bottle inspection, and, it's got appropriate caps fill and all of this. But yeah, anyway, getting into the aroma, it does have a grainy maltiness, kind of a light bready note. I got a fair amount of sulfur in there. Pretty evident. Had a low floral hop. Seemed to be missing kind of the honey cracker-like kind of complexity of the malt that you get in a Pils, where it has that rich German malt to it.
Yeah.
The Pils malt. Seems clean lagered though. Like I didn't get any diacetyl or acetaldehyde. So no bad stuff in there. I felt like I was getting just a little bit of a banana ester, though. It came out as it warmed up. So that was a little odd, but it wasn't heavy, just a really light, like little banana ester somehow in there. But, the aroma was pretty good. Appearance-wise, it pours, beautiful, clear, light gold color, had a nice prominent white head that it took quite a while to dissipate in the glass. I judged it last night at home. Head was nice and creamy. Had some larger bubbles, but mostly just a nice, very nice looking beer and brilliantly clear. So yeah, very nice job on the appearance. You have to give it full points there. In the flavor, it has a grainy and Pils like malt up front. It's soft and pretty restrained. The bitterness is low. It shouldn't be a bitingly bitter beer, but
should be crisp.
Even for a style, it's a little bit low.
Yeah.
You gotta have a little bit of crispness and something with the, playing with the water. The hop can present itself differently as you have more or less sulfates in your water and things like that. So, water chemistry is one thing you have to look at. Try to match that German profile. I mean, the ones in southern Germany tend to be a little softer. The water down there is a little more carbonate and less, and as you get in northern German, it's more sulfates and you get a little bit more of that sulfury character. I did get a little sulfur in the flavor too, like the aroma, and I'll have to see if Doc got that little banana ester, but it's really light, really faint, but just a bit distracting there. But yeah, seems to be a really clean lager ferment. You did a good job taking care of your yeast and keeping things clean. I don't know if it went to the warmer side at all during the fermentation, but where some esters might come out, or it could be. There could be various places that could come from, but the balance is pretty even between the malt and the hops. It's mostly a malty beer, though. Malt just slightly wins out, and both are pretty light. It's kind of an underwhelming, unassuming, very drinkable and smooth beer. So, hops are kind of floral and spicy, and they do linger a bit in the aftertaste along with that malt. So. Quite pleasant in the flavor. Mouthfeel-wise, it is pretty crisp with a dry finish. That's appropriate to the style. That does help this beer a bit there. It has that nice, it's refreshing. It's just crisp as you drink it and clean and smooth. So, I didn't get any alcohol warmth. The carbonation seemed medium high. It was quite spritzy, kind of seltzery. And yeah, it wasn't astringent, but also wasn't really creamy or mouth-filling, smooth. It was just kind of crisp and not bitingly crisp. So
yeah,
pretty nice mouthfeel. So I thought it was a pleasant drinking German Pils overall. Really helped by the appearance and the mouthfeel. I thought was pretty much spot on. Just falling a bit flat in the flavor and the aroma with just a couple of light issues, what I perceive. And I'd like to see what Doc picked out on this one too. That detracted a little bit. You just want to make sure you keep your yeast really happy and healthy, especially with a lager. Oxygenate it well, pitch a massive amount, and a nice, happy, healthy slurry. And, from a vigorous starter, just avoid suppressing your yeast by, you want to use gentle temperature ramps and keep that yeast doing what it's supposed to do as you're going, ramping from your pitching temperature, maybe up slightly, start low, rise it up a bit. It'd be interesting to talk about your lager regimen because I think you did a good job. There could be some specifics you could dial in a little better. But yeah, also just watch the sulfate levels in your water. Just pay attention to the water and know where your water is. And because with a beer like this, it's very important to have the right water.
Yes.
It needs, it does have that nice crispness. So I think that, the way the hops are playing off, some of the sulfates and things in the water is working fine. But you just want to make sure there's nothing poking out in a weird way that, that isn't going to meet the intended style. So, and if there's anything, wild getting away in there, I don't know. It would, a German Pils, a lager yeast shouldn't produce a lot of banana if you have it at the right temperature. So I don't know. There could be some other yeast, but it doesn't seem like there's a wild yeast getting loose in here either. So I don't know. It's just a little, kind of a weird balance to it with that. The way the water is playing off everything and that little banana thing that distracted me a little bit. But I really liked the beer. I thought it was a very good beer, pretty much within the style parameters, and just a little, needs a little tiny bit of work. But I gave it a 34, and quite pleasant beer. Thank you.
Awesome, Doc. You're up, buddy. Handsome.
Okay. So Norm, overall, I think you're out of style, basically. Actually, I liked the beer. I really did. As a German Pils, it got some leeway between the North and the South. At best, it's a Southern German Pils, which I like too.
I thought it leaned more towards that myself too. Yeah, it's like smoother and
smooth. It's not crisp and kind of sharp and
not as bitter.
Not as bitter. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, and that has to do with what Brian was saying about the water and just the style in general. So, with the aroma, I got nice and bready aroma. Not much sulfur. I didn't get a lot of that. And for a...
It was light, yeah.
Yeah. And for a lager, if you're new to lagers, excuse me, first thing I always hear is this supposed to smell like that? When it's fermenting, yes, it is. A lot of sulfur comes out of there, but it generally goes away. That's why you lager it. And so that was all pretty good. I didn't get a lot of sulfur out of that, especially a light lager like this. I get a little astringency in the aroma. Just there's this weird sharpness that I get out of it. Pretty much no hop aroma, period. So, the aroma was kind of more towards the sweeter side, more malty. Appearance, I put down, because I judged I had a bottle of it last night, and that's when I judged it, and it was clear but not brilliant. But again, I put down the secondary notes. It could have been my pour.
Okay.
Because I poured the whole thing in, kind of looked like it wasn't bottle conditioned. Anyway, but there's still usually just a little bit of sludge. But tonight, looking at this bottle, it's definitely very clear.
Yeah, there's a couple little
I know
globules, but not many.
So when I kind of dumped it all in there, and
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Mine looked like this last night. It's brilliantly clear.
Super clear.
Poured out of the top half of the bottle.
Yeah.
I like using a Duvel glass because I like the way the aroma comes back up to me.
And you like Duvel.
And that too. So,
God, look at that clarity, dude. I'm sorry. That's
I know. It's
awesome.
Now it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which kind of gets me back to how old this might be, because we've got a little bit of astringent, maybe a little cardboard, no sulfur, which means it's been aging longer, and no hop aroma. So I'm wondering if it's a little bit older of a beer, which would make it brilliant and drop out the hops at the same time. So, yeah, this one is definitely that. It's mostly my pour. I kind of knew it when I did it. Nice color, though. Head retention was pretty good all the way around. Flavor, nice grainy, sweet malt character. I really like that. But not enough bitterness for the style. I want, you're going to want some definite bitterness coming through on this, and I just didn't get it. I thought, and that I put down it's not dry enough, which I'm saying maybe it's not balanced enough. Really needed more bitterness to kind of balance out the sweetness, which wasn't bad. It wasn't cloying sweetness. It was malt sweetness.
Yes, it's a very pleasant sweetness.
Yes, it is.
But it's a soft sweetness. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
easily correctable, I think.
Well, let me get to the end.
Okay.
But all right. Yes.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of green apple in the flavor when it warms up, just a touch.
How about banana? Did you get any of that?
Not until you said it, actually, and I didn't get it in my bottle, but
really light.
But in this one, yeah. But not in mine yesterday. But you're right. So it just needs to balance more towards the bitterness if you want to keep it in this style.
Yeah.
The mouthfeel is a bit heavy for a Pils, I thought.
Okay.
That could be more because mine could have been more carbonated. My bottle was just not carbonated enough. It should be more spritzy. This one was a lot better.
Yeah.
And that's how you go from bottle to bottle, and that's the crapshoot when you send in 3 bottles.
Yeah.
4 bottles or whatever you send in.
I asked for 12. I just keep them all.
Yeah. So, yes, I go overall impression. It's more of a Southern German style, definitely.
Yeah.
If it's going to be that way, it's definitely just a sweeter style anyway. But I think this one even goes beyond that.
Okay.
More sulfates would help in the dryness if you're going to try that. Also, more carbonation would help this. This bottle that we have tonight, definitely different.
It was different than what you...
Right.
Well, in subtle ways? Or
no, it was pretty there.
Okay.
When you carbonate more or less, it really changes the flavor profile.
Okay.
So if you get one that's a real fizzer, and because your bottle wasn't cold enough, or you got distracted with the beer gun or whatever you did, and it foams too much, you're going to lose some CO2 out of there. So that bottle's definitely not going to be what the other bottles are going to be.
This bottle seems a little less carbonated than the one I had last night. We opened tonight.
It's a lot more carbonated than the one I had.
Okay.
So it's technique wise, whatever it is, but that's definitely
it's easy to get a little variation. Yeah.
So hopefully it wasn't a lot of variation. I just thought the whole overall thing is not dry enough, not bitter enough. I thought it was a lot closer to a Helles. Really did.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, it does have some Helles like.
So if I was going to choose which one, just because you start out, I'm going to make this beer.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily have to stick to that. You can.
Yeah.
You can call it something new.
You can call it something new once it all comes out.
Okay.
It's a better this than it is that.
It's plenty light to be a Helles too. I mean,
and that's the game, right?
Pils can be a little,
that's the game.
So richer color, but
I would enter this as a Helles, and I'll be able to do a lot better than a Pils. So basically, I gave it a 31, only because of style issues. I thought it might have been a little bit old, and I thought it might.
I got some of that too.
And it's just for this style, it's just not bitter enough. But I just thought it just hinted of being a little too old.
Yeah.
Was it Helles might go into the higher 30s or?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely I'd give it, another 7-8 points probably just because of that.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
So just changing your category,
I think,
would up this beer.
Yeah.
Because it's actually a really nice beer. I really liked it. I just enjoyed drinking it anyway.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it fits in this category.
Well, Norm, do you have any questions for these guys about this beer? About their feedback, rather?
No, yeah, it's funny you guys kind of hit on all the things that I was worried about, like the packaging, because I'm lazy, so I just bottled straight off the tap, and so that's probably why the variance was there. And then, I was going back and forth about style, too, because I kind of, I brewed exactly like you were saying, the recipe was, German Pils, and then when I was tasting it, I was kind of wondering where it fit style-wise, and so that's kind of, I just stuck with it because that's what the recipe was. And I forgot to mention that it started out brewing this, one of the things I wanted to do was kind of a little water experiment, so I brewed this with all distilled water and then building up with my own salt. And then I was planning on brewing it again to kind of compare the two, see how it compares with building your own water versus using my water. And if you did it again, do the same thing. Use distilled water, but I would definitely up the sulfates.
Push up the sulfates a little bit, yeah.
Lower the sodium for sure, and then up the sulfates.
There's a little more gypsum in there.
Yeah, and you'll definitely have a different beer in this.
It'll enhance that crispness. Yeah, I wouldn't go really heavy with it, but yeah, it's almost there. But it's Yep. If you went with, I don't know what your water is like, but it's bound to be quite different from what you were building towards.
And with this kind of light lager, definitely you're gonna. The water comes into place so much because it's so subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, the last thing was when I first kegged it, I was, tasting it along the way, and I noticed that it was super cloudy and murky. I mean, it looked like an East Coast IPA. So after tasting a while, it wasn't getting clear for the longest time. So I finally got some gelatin. Put some gelatin there, and then got it nice and clear, and then so by the time I got it tasting where I wanted it to and sent it in, this is got a little bit of age on it now. I kegged it back in close to December, so it's got a little age on it, and you guys picked up on that.
You also have to keep in mind too that the gelatin is going to pull out a little bit of your hop flavor and bitterness, so you want to boost up the hop just a little bit there.
Yeah, and then filling out the tap, you're going to get some oxidation too, and quite a bit of variation in the CO2 levels.
So it's just poured down the side of the bottle from the tap, or through a tube of some kind.
Oh yeah, so I turn my pressure down, bleed it off, and then I just pour it right down the side of the bottle. And
okay.
Cap on foam real quick. So
there's better ways.
Do you purge your bottle? Purge the CO2 at all, or no? There's
no, I don't. I just lazy with it.
I think it changed the beer. It definitely gives it a little of that honey-like oxidation, kind of a little papery.
Yep.
If you're going to start doing lagers, and you're actually pretty good at it, and you're going to enter a contest, you're going to need to do bottles. So get something like a beer gun or a counter pressure and get good with it. You need some consistency here. And I really felt the inconsistency from bottle to bottle.
And you can start simpler with just a bottle filler that gets it to the bottom of the bottle, and like the stopper, that fits the top of your bottle in the top, and just bleed it off, with your pushing the edge of the stopper with your finger. If you purge it with CO2 and fill that way, you shouldn't get too much oxygen pickup. You'll still get more variation than you'd get with a beer gun or something fancy like that, but you can do it simpler if you don't have the means to buy the beer gun and stuff. But or whatever other counter pressure fillers there are.
More Beer has a pretty good one too.
But either one of those two things, it's much easier to purge the bottle of oxygen, and that's what's going to keep the saline kind of compounds out of it, especially if you want to keep it around for a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is such a delicate style that a little bit really matters.
I can tell it's a good recipe, though, and seemed like you used good ingredients.
Definitely brew it again.
We can tell you know what you're doing with the log. What was the lagering regimen there? What did you start at, and where did you go with it?
I got a good sized pitch going. I did 2 vials of White Labs German lager, and put those in a starter on my stir plate, and I did Puro too, and then I pitched around my temperature controllers in Celsius, so 10 C, so what's that, like 50-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
and then after about a week, then I kind of slowly ramped it up to about just under 13 C, and then let that go, kind of a little diacetyl rest. And then after that, I kind of slowly dropped it down by like 1 degree a day.
Yeah.
And then, finally packaged after a while of that.
Okay.
How long did you lager it and at just barely freezing?
So I just kegged it after about a month, got it down to 4 C, so kept it pretty cold, and then kegged it and just kept it cold. But kind of lager in the keg.
Okay.
You got most of the sulfur out of there, so that's,
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have left it a month on the yeast, but 3 weeks is 2.5, 3 weeks is fine. A month pushing it, you got to get some autolysis. But when you crash it, it's fine, but you got to keep it really close to freezing for a while, and you can do it in the keg. I do it all the time.
Right.
So, but that's your aging process, which kind of brings out a lot of the subtle flavors.
And that 10C going up to 13, that's going from like 50 degrees to 55 and a half. Seems like
that's a little high.
That's a little high. You might get more of that esters coming out that way from the yeast. I mean, there's something estery in there, and it came across to me as just a faint banana, but not too distracting. Mm-hmm. You can start a little lower, start in the high 40s. 47, 48.
And then try to keep it below 50.
And go up to 50.
And then just let it roll all the way through that.
Yeah. Like 9C to 10C or something. Yeah.
And you can diacetyl rest at 50 even. It just takes longer. And
that's true.
We forget that, I think. Raise the temperature a little bit.
They're working fine. Those lager guys work fine at 50. It just takes them a little bit longer. So they're they're cleaning up stuff at the end. Mm-hmm. And I didn't taste any diacetyl in this.
No, not at all.
That was fine.
I think it's great.
I mean, how many lagers have you done before this? Any?
This is my second lager.
That's really good, man. That's really good.
Really, really good.
Spot on.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, Norm. Well, if that's it, we'll let you go.
All right. Thanks for all your help, guys.
Thank you for sharing the beer.
Bud.
It was good.
Cheers.
Very good.
Yeah, good beer. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to wrap with Kris about his Big Bamboo. It's Dr. Homebrew. We'll be right back.
Hello, fellow BNers. This is Sully from the 21st Amendment Brewery located in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park. Before Nico and I opened the 21A and before I was a professional brewer, I homebrewed on my small 4-burner apartment stove in a back house in Santa Monica, California, making my extract brews before graduating to the daunting idea of all-grain brewing. Homebrew books and information was hard to come by back then. The internet hadn't been invented yet, along with other things we take for granted today, like electricity and potable water. One thing I wish I had back then when I was learning was a radio show that could teach me the ins and outs of brewing and answer questions that I had about homebrewing, a resource for making great craft beer. The 21st Amendment Brewery is excited to be a proud sponsor of Dr. Homebrew, a great show that teaches you what you need to know about making incredible beer. Good stuff. Listen up, you might learn something. I certainly did. And thanks for your support. Tasty Crack Games.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Tampa Bay has become a great destination for craft beer lovers with more than 60 breweries and counting, like Cigar City, Tampa Bay, and Coppertail Brewing. One of the newest breweries is Four Stacks Brewing Company in Apollo Beach. Four Stacks believes that the West Coast can't have all the fun. So while we feature West Coast beer like Stone, Ballast Point, and Green Flash on tap, we also brew hopped-up ales to our liking in the West Coast style, even as they're truly Florida. Come in and see for yourself. Four Stacks hosts monthly homebrew club meetings, bottle shares, and partners with local restaurants for free food delivery while you enjoy your pint in their new tap room. Stop by Four Stacks Brewing and support the greater Tampa Bay craft beer scene at a brand new community-oriented independent brewery. Four Stacks Brewing, bringing the best of the West Coast style and attitude. Four Stacks Brewing Company in Apollo Beach, Florida.
Putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Now, back to the examination.
All right, thanks for sticking with us, everybody. Before we jump on the line with Kris, I want to tell you guys about the Homebrew Label Awards. They are looking for any and all awesome custom labels for your custom homebrew.
Hey, Kris.
Yeah, right? The folks at GrogTag who put on the Homebrew Label Awards, they want to know if you create labels that are the envy of your creatively challenged friends. Do you just like to give your opinion on stuff? Which, let's face it, we're homebrewers. We love giving our opinions on shit. Well, the folks at the Homebrew Label Awards want you to prove it. They want you to enter your original label in the 2016 National Homebrew Label Awards. Not only is it the largest online label competition in the world, as far as they know, but this year there are over $5,000 in prizes up for grabs again. So last year they gave away over $5,000 worth of crap, and not crap, but stuff. And this year they're doing it again. That's a lot of cash, dude. That's a lot of stuff these people give away. Head over to homebrewlabelawards.com and enter your label. Or if you don't like making labels, if you got hit in the head as a small child and you haven't had a CAT scan yet to address the clot. You just want to vote. You can vote. You can go online, go to homebrewlabelawards.com and check out all of the other entries and place your vote, man. Pass judgment on these folks, if you will, and skyrocket someone else to fame and glory if you can't make it yourself.
Voting is an important job.
Voting is an important job. Deadline for entry is May 20th. The sooner you enter, the more votes that you get. That's the thing. It's all about social media and voting. How big is your social media network? How cool is your label, and how many times can you get it in front of people's faces? So head over homebrewlabelawards.com. Who knows? Your label might go on to fame and glory. I know that this year, last year, they announced a lot of the winners, all the winners actually, at the National Homebrewers Conference. Well, this year I think they're really stepping up their ties with the AHA, and I think they're going to do something during the awards ceremony too. So I don't know, man. It should be interesting. So check it out, Homebrew. Yeah, HomebrewLabelAwards.com.
Hey, bless you.
Thank you. I hit my mute button and then I unhit it and then I sniffed like a.
It's a cough button.
Like an idiot.
You sneezed.
I'm stupid. All right, we're gonna get. We're going to get Kris on the line here and talk about his Big Bamboo.
I like the label, too. Speaking of labels.
Yeah, little tiki guys.
It has bamboo. It's very tiki-ish. Yeah.
Little beard.
It has bamboo.
The big bamboo.
Kris.
This is.
Hey, this is JP.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Not too bad.
Look, Kris got that radio voice going on.
Kris sounds like he could kick our ass. I might have to bump
I've been told I had a radio voice before.
Hello there. I feel like I have to drop my voice down a register or two now. Yes. How long?
You don't have to do that for me.
Yeah, I might. Maybe you bring it up a little bit. So the Big Bamboo, dude. That's it. It seems like a pretty daunting task. How long have you been homebrewing, if I can ask you that?
I've been brewing for about 9 years now.
Ah, okay. I feel like only a veteran homebrewer can tackle a process like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So tell me the thought behind this beer here, man, because it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was down at a tiki bar in Chicago and just had a really good experience. Met the owner, got flights of rum, and they had a beer brewed for them specifically by Mars Brewing in Chicago, and just to pair with their rums. And I wanted to take it one step further at home and just brew a beer that was a tiki drink.
Okay. All right. So yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Running through my recipes, I have a couple books on tiki drinks, and one that I thought could translate pretty well based on just the citrus profile you could add in was the Big Bamboo. So I translated all your juice additions into citrus zest or fruit in secondary, and the rum addition into a rum barrel just to try it out.
Okay.
Apparently I haven't spent enough time at tiki bars.
Yeah, I know, right? How did you get your hands on the rum barrel?
A buddy of mine in our homebrew club up here in Marquette, Michigan, I ordered one 10-gallon out of Farmhouse Brewing Supplies or something like that.
Okay.
He's not sure what rum distillery it was or what kind of rum it was, but
yeah,
before he gave it to me, he was able to dump out half a pint glass full of straight rum.
Oh, geez.
And I put beer right into it.
Nice. Homebrewers, man. 10 years ago, I think that would have been a lot harder of a task to accomplish. Even maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah. It was the first rum barrel I've had the opportunity to even use, or let alone heard of people putting beer in, really.
Yeah, for sure. Well, excuse me. I'm all full of burps. Doc, why don't you go ahead and start talking about the Big Bamboo?
All right. So basically, we judged it tonight. JP gave me the rundown on what you were trying to do, which really opened it up for me. First, I heard all the ingredients and what was in it, and I basically went, ooh. But after you told me what you were trying to accomplish, it fully made sense. So let's take it from there. So you got a rum barrel fruit beer, and it's started as an Imperial Blonde, which is probably a pretty smart idea because you don't want to have a lot of other beer flavors in there. Because the aroma comes out as I got a lot of fruit, a lot of alcohol, and some wood. That rum barrel kind of wood, but it wasn't overpowering by any means. I got some coconut smell in there, which is kind of cool. Definitely some higher alcohols. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. It's kind of a little bit biting in the aroma. So kind of like if you're sniffing a cocktail. Which is what you're kind of going for. So The appearance, an amber color, especially looking at, that it was an imperial blonde when you started. But, that's what happens when you distill things. It goes in clear, comes out brown. And it definitely did. It had a nice head that kind of reared up, and then it kind of faded kind of fast. That's probably the alcohol in it, too. Flavor, I got pretty sweet, a little bit puckering, probably mostly from the alcohol. Got a lot of coconut and brown sugar, which was actually pretty pleasant. Definitely some alcohol warmth. Near the end when I'm swallowing, and it was kind of okay, even though it's on the sweet side, which is more the tiki kind of thing. So mouthfeel, maybe a little sharp with the mouthfeel. Medium body, good CO2. I like the high level of the CO2 that I got out of it because it helps lift that sweetness off your tongue. So that was all pretty good.
I like it when the sweetness is lifted.
Well, you can get this cloying stuff that just lays on that sweet, syrupy beer. And for this to work, it's kind of got to be.
Yeah.
But with the higher CO2, it spritzes off your tongue a lot better. It just kind of balances it.
Well, I think
so much better.
I think that tannin from the peels from all the citrus helps.
Well,
a lot
you get
also.
tannin from the oak too.
Yeah.
So that all kind of comes into play. I really didn't get any faults in the beer. Maybe a little oxidation, but not really. The only thing was the balance a little bit. It was balanced a little on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of alcohol, so you got to get that anyway. But basically, ice, an umbrella, and a straw, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
It just really worked. At first, I'm thinking I couldn't drink more than one. I think, or could I? It was. If I'm going to judge this as a wood barrel aged beer, it's lower. It's like a 32. But if you push it into the experimental, I'm in the 39-40-ish range with it. I think it was really, especially if they know what you're doing or what you're trying to do.
Yeah, if you can tell them beforehand. Because I think this is kind of a mindfuck beer.
Yeah, it is, definitely. Yeah. If I didn't know what you're trying to do, I'd go, ooh.
This guy sucks.
No, not really sucks, but, it doesn't balance and this and that. But, if you're knowing what you were trying to go for.
You nailed it.
You nailed it. I give you kudos for that.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Definitely, I would put in the experimental beer. I think you got more room to explain what the hell you're doing.
Right.
And if you can do that, yeah, you got it.
For sure.
So, kudos, dude.
What did you give him?
I give it for a wood aged beer. I give him 32, but I give him like a 39-40 for the experimental beer.
What could he improve? What can he do to improve?
Maybe a little less sweetness, possibly.
Okay. A little drier, or would you take the gravity down?
Oh no, I just go. Well, that's a tough deal because you're gonna get sweetness from the alcohol. Although I like that rum kind of alcohol taste to it. I really like that. So I would maybe dry it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably try to attenuate it a little bit more because you kind of balance that alcohol sweetness with the malt sweetness. So I would try to dry it out a little bit more. Maybe less malt, a little more sugar, so it dries down a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You'll probably get the same starting gravity, but lower finishing. And try it that way. But I would do it in little increments because you could mess this up, and you're already doing great.
Okay, awesome, Brian.
Bill, those of you who want to do the I've never had the Big Bamboo cocktail, but I was investigating, and I would like to try one. It sounds really cool. Half ounce lime juice, half ounce orange juice, half ounce grapefruit juice, half ounce passion fruit syrup, half an ounce of dark Jamaican rum, an ounce of gold rum, and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters.
Gotta have bitters, dude. Any good cocktail.
served with the jungle garnish. I like that.
Alligator penis.
Just
monkey suit.
Just grab some leaves out of the jungle and throw it in there. I don't know. Anyway, that sounds cool. It helps give me a better idea of what the inspiration was here. So yeah, thank you for introducing us to new things here. I'm kind of a beer guy, but I do like a good well-made cocktail every once in a while.
Got a broad horizon.
So yeah, it does the aroma was really promising. I liked it a lot. It had, there weren't any hops, obviously. It was malty and fruity and boozy, and it smelled like a punch bowl with a little bit of booze in there. So yeah, I was definitely getting the passion fruit, a little kind of mango-like, and almost a cherry-like aroma, even though there's no cherry in there, but it's like maybe from the malt, But the rum was low, and there was a little bit of a woody element in there, kind of nicely in check with everything else. It was like a punch bowl with a little booze and just fruit and booze and fun. So yeah, no big, there's alcohol in there too, obviously, but no DMS or acetaldehyde or anything like that, diacetyl. Just seemed cleanly fermented, moderate fermentation, derived esters, kind of playing nicely with everything else there. Appearance-wise, so it was declared to be an Imperial Blonde Ale, and just right off the bat, the appearance kind of goes down because it's a reddish copper-colored beer. It's not blonde. It looks quite, fairly clear. Had a low, creamy off-white head that faded to a color after a little while. So appearance-wise, I expected it to be lighter in color, but that's fine. It might have been the base style was an Imperial Blonde Ale, but it just imperialized Blonde Ale, but all the fruit and the wood and everything else, the dark rum probably is in there, just darkened it down a bit, and that's fine. But may not want to call it a blonde at that point. Anyway, but yeah, flavor wise. Again, it's fruity, sweet, malty, boozy, and woody. This beer has it all. There's a lot going on here, but you get a little bit of everything, and that's kind of nice. To me, the rum and the wood character come out on top, and so I got a lot of fruit in the aroma, but it seemed less so in the flavor. It is malty sweet, and there's a lot for that fruit that if the fruit was a little more prominent could play off of. But to me, it all the fruits that were there kind of got buried by everything else that's going on in here. So it seems cleanly fermented. The hop bitterness is kind of low out of the way, which is good. You wouldn't want too much of that. There's really no hop to pick out in this at all. It's just, if it is there, it's just kind of subtle and out of the way. And the booze that's there is pleasant. It's not harsh or rough. It's just it's kind of bold, but it's not unpleasant at all. But it's definitely balanced to the booze to my taste. I'd like to taste a little bit more beer-like quality. So that the fruit's kind of hiding a little bit, but it has an interesting balance, and I really like understanding the beer a little better now. I do like kind of where it is, especially in the aroma. And the flavor, to me, it works. It still has all those things. It's just I would balance it a little differently for my tastes. And just, if you're drinking a cocktail, you're going to taste some booze, so you probably should in a beer like this. But I would imagine that the cocktail, as described, has so many different kinds of fruit in there in good amounts that it would also be very fruity sweet. So, mouthfeel-wise, it's medium body with medium low carbonation. There's some moderate alcohol warmth going on there. It's a big, hefty beer there. It's just a little bit biting, like Doc said, too. I get a little bit of kind of a low astringency, or else it's just the booze kind of biting me on the wood character. The tannins in there kind of getting a little heavy in the mouthfeel. So, yeah, again, just overall impression, I didn't really get it as an Imperial Blonde, but, that's just kind of a fine point. And where do you enter this? 22C, it's a wood-aged beer, sure,
but it's so much more.
It's got so much more. Yeah. But, I would just back off the booze a little bit and find a way to bring up the fruit a little bit. So, I I gave it a 33. If there was magically a category invented for the 2018 BJCP guidelines that's cocktail-inspired beer, you could enter it as maybe an amber ale with a fruity tiki drink style, whatever. Most beer judges might not know what a big bamboo is either, as I didn't, but they'll want to if they taste it. So, yeah, nicely done. I think this is a good. I'd like to know where else you went with it too. If you want to talk about JP said you did kind of a series of beers like this, so it'd be interesting to just rap with you about what else you did. But yeah, I gave it a 33. I might give it a 39 if there was a category for this beer, but there really isn't. It's experimental, specialty, fun beer.
Yeah. What about the experimental category? Would it fare any better?
Yeah, I think it would because it's a pretty nice beer.
Yeah,
and there's so many not so nice beers.
You want to be careful too in that what you declare true. Because if you declare grapefruit and lime and pineapple and passion fruit and mango, you want every single of those things to come through.
Yeah.
So you might want to just declare a few of them that really come through to you or to your friends and other judges.
Lime, grapefruit.
Yeah. There's lime, there's grapefruit, there's a little mango.
A little bit.
So pick out a few. I'm not like getting big pineapple. The orange is pretty subtle, but just stick with a few things and declare them and put it in a specialty category and see what it does. If you want to win an award with it, yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to fit as much information as I could about what I was trying to do.
And the label's cool. It's just
I like the beer. I would personally drop the
panties.
I would drop the panties hard. No, I would drop the starting gravity a little bit, like 5 points. I think it's a little too malty, and I think that maybe is crushing some of the fruit, is kind of getting in the way of it really being a cocktail beer. But
yeah, sometimes it's not push up the fruit. It's like pull something else back. Like when you're doing a music mix, it's like, well, I can't hear the bass. It's like, well, the guitar's too freaking loud. So, pull this back or EQ it out or something,
Yeah.
Do that to your beer.
What's the ABV on this guy, Kris?
Into the barrel, it was 8.3. And I really have no way of measuring what it was after. But from people I've had taste it and my 2 co-brewers at the brewery here, they guessed probably 15-ish.
Damn, girl.
How much rum went into it?
That's still a lot of gain just from the barrel. But,
yeah.
I wouldn't go that high with it. It's not that. Eight's pretty plenty. I'd go 10 or 11 on it.
Easy.
It's definitely boozy. Yeah. But I wouldn't back off on that. I would back off on the maltiness, like JP was saying.
Yeah.
If you can get it,
just a bit, a
bit drier. Drop out some of the malt and then add maybe some sugar back in just to try to get it there.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I liked the sweetness level.
Yeah,
but the maltiness
level's fine, but it's too much of a beer.
You want it to be sweet.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe I would be different if I didn't know that he was going for a cocktail inspired thing. I think now once that switch is flipped, now I want to go that anyway.
It was a challenging beer to judge, honestly. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, Kris, do you have any questions for the guys about this beer? Anything we can help you out?
No, I was just looking for general feedback, see if I could explain my process to somebody and what they would be able to get out of it.
And what? How did we do?
I think you did pretty good.
Did all right.
For not having any idea of what the tiki drink base is, you picked up on everything that was supposed to be there.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, if you dial it in and work out some recipes and perfect the batches, you could market something like this. It's a really interesting twist.
Totally.
And to make it in the craft brew industry these days, you have to do something a little different, honestly.
Yeah, definitely you're onto something.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right, Kris, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, bud. See you.
He'll be the guy brewing for those tiki bars out there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, everyone. It's Dr. Homebrew. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to hand out our Grog Tag gift certificate, and then we're going to bail. We'll be right back.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Admit it. Homebrewing is not always free of frustrations. Years ago, brothers Bill and Jim Mitchell decided to minimize those frustrations and create an entirely new brewing process and a brand new kitchen appliance, the Pico Brew Zymatic. The Zymatic sits on your kitchen counter and connects to the internet via Wi-Fi. It comes with access to a huge recipe library full of award-winning beers and can brew your next batch at the push of a button. Improve repeatability and refine your recipes with the Pico Brew Zymatic. With minimal cleaning and hassle, the Zymatic enables anyone to brew craft beer in the comfort of their own kitchen. Just add your ingredients and the process of homebrewing becomes simplified and automatic, allowing you to focus on what really matters while you brew. At Pico Brew, they believe everyone should be able to enjoy the art of homebrewing and make their own damn good craft beer. See the Zymatic in action today at picobrew.com. Grog tags aren't just for labeling your home brews to hand out to your friends. They're the perfect way to round out your personal brewing marketing. Bringing your latest beer to a funeral? Craft a metal sign to go with it. Heading out to little Liam's bar mitzvah? Grog Tag custom bottle caps are awesome. Couldn't get out of jury duty this year? Grog Tag the hell out of the deliberation room with reusable labels. Grog Tag has an awesome array of products just waiting to be customized by you. Metal signs, coasters, tasting mats, bottle caps, tap handles. It's all there waiting for your designs at Grog Tag. Liven up your next party with the widest selection of custom products ever offered by a sponsor of the Brewing Network. Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're going to have to pour you out.
Back to Dr. Homebrew.
All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Doc's is going.
The night is young. We have a ways to go here. Pace yourself, guys.
No, I want more Big Bamboo. Okay, now is the time.
It is the time,
fellow Americans, where we give away the $40 Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good gift certificate.
We're not giving it away. They earned it.
That's true. They earned it. That's right. They earned it. How did they earn it? They earned it by emailing jp@morebeer.com. Wow. I haven't given out that email address in fucking 10 years.
It works, doesn't it?
No.
And by more beer, he means the Brewing Network.
Yeah, jp@thebrewingnetwork.com. And if you want to be a contestant on Dr. Homebrew, email me, jp@thebrewingnetwork.com, and I will get back to you eventually. I don't like emailing right away because it gets lost in my inbox. It's a whole thing. I'll get back to you. Just don't worry about it.
He doesn't want to seem desperate.
I don't want to seem desperate, right. But anyway, and so the Grog Tag folks, they've generously donated $40 gift certificates to give away to our runners-up because their slogan, of course, is at least your beer will look good. And, you know, the tongue-in-cheek kind of play there is your beer shit. But it'll look good soon.
They both looked good. Yeah.
They both looked good. They both tasted good. But we had to give it to one winner. So we gave it to Norm. Congratulations, Norm.
Chris already has the label, so.
That's right. You're the winner of the $40 gift certificate to grogtag.com. You can go head over there right now and check out their cool templates and all that kind of stuff. And if you create your own custom label, Norm, don't forget to enter it in the Homebrew Label Awards.
New labels.
And you can make tap handles and all kinds of fun stuff.
You can do all sorts of stuff. They have so much stuff going on over there, dude.
beer signs
buy
for
a
garage.
friend a label.
Those, buy your friends too. You can buy metal signs. You can do a whole bunch of shit over there. Grog Tag, man, I'm telling you, they're making homebrew look better.
They're going to be at the NHC again?
They will be at NHC. Yeah,
but
sure.
They're just fun people. The booth is fun too.
The booth is fun. Yeah, they're good folks. They like to party and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So if you do place an order, anybody over at Grog Tag, make sure you tell them that you heard about us or heard about them from Dr. Homebrew.
Yeah, this was a fun show. We had a couple of really good beers. They were both kind of neck and neck. So it was
a good time.
It was within 1 point.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're listening live, we'll be right back in about 5 minutes with a second show. If you're listening on the podcast, just wait for this to play out. It'll start automatically, I'm sure. Anyway, it's been Dr. Homebrew, Brian, Doc. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And thanks to Norm and Kris for sitting in beers. And, we'll see you out there, everybody.